and our opinions expressed are not necessarily those of radio station KMET, its management, employees, or affiliates.
It's time to steer the line.
Touchdown!
Sports betting, fantasy football, and the latest NFL news. Featuring Loud-Esmond, Christian Giordani, Rocky Giordani, and Jeremy James. Bet on us to make you a better better.
What?
Let's get ready to steer the line.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another segment of Steer the Line. I'm your host and analytics expert, Christian Giordani. Next to me, we have Loud-Esmond, our professional sports handicapper. Below is Jeremy James, our fantasy football guru, and Rocky Giordani, our ex-professional athlete. Fellas, how you doing this fine Friday afternoon?
Fine.
I'm
Thank
good.
you.
Rained all week, man.
Just waiting for Monday.
Wait, dirty on Monday. Yeah. Lots going on. I wonder more will happen by Monday though, right?
Yep. So let's get right into it. The releases of the NFL, and I want to get into the biggest one so far. Russell Wilson has been released from the Denver Broncos.
What? No way.
What I know, right?
Right.
And that's not
I
why
didn't see that coming.
And that's not why I'm saying this is such a insane thing. The reason I'm saying it's because the Denver Broncos have $85 million in dead cap for the next 3 seasons, which is the biggest in NFL history.
Thank God for that, because before that, I think it was the Raiders and Jamarcus Wilson.
Marcus Russell.
Russell.
When it comes to Russell, one of the things you're hearing all over the place right now is the fact that, he may actually be appealing to some teams, considering they're not going to have to pay him much more than the minimum. He's getting something like $36 million paid to him by the Broncos this year.
48.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, something big. He's getting a bunch of money from them, so a team can sign him for basically the veteran minimum if he wants a chance to either compete or be a starter somewhere. And I think some teams are going to give him a shot. He's already talked to the Giants, and he's talking to Pittsburgh today. So I think there's going to be more people in on him by the time Monday rolls around, because at that price, you're getting a veteran who threw, 28 touchdowns or 32 touchdowns, something like that last year, and 8 interceptions.
Right around there.
He didn't look great. The team didn't look great, but he wasn't horrible, and at that price, how do you argue?
Yeah, I'm very glad we're jumping right into this. Rocky, I see you have something to say about it.
Oh, well, no. I mean, he played so poorly the year before, and then last season they had a rough start, but he came on. He started playing really well. He must have known that he was going to be released and needed to find a home. He started playing really well. The second half of the season, he played as well as just almost anybody in that division, for sure, except for Derek Carr, of course.
No, why? Why?
Get it
to
over
take
with.
the power away from Loud. That's why.
Get it over with. Bring it out. Get it over with.
Yeah, let's get it done.
I have you so flummoxed by that now you're doing it to yourself.
Now we're doing it to ourselves.
That's really successful brainwashing and mind control when
For real.
it's like you're hitting yourself so your abusive stepfather doesn't do it.
Yeah. Now, where do you think Russell Wilson might land?
No, wait. Let me hit myself. Stop.
Yeah, first let me smack
Dad,
myself.
stop. Give me the bell.
Derek Carr. I'm done. I'm done for the day.
All right, we get off the child abuse and back to football.
Yeah, Rocky.
Sorry.
Now, Christian, so he spoke to the
Giants already.
Steelers, which I think would be a great fit for him. But so they're also looking at the quarterback from Justin Fields.
Yes. Pittsburgh is also taking a look at Justin Fields. In
Russell
my
Wilson's
head,
got a lock to find a place to play.
yeah, in my head, it's a done deal. Justin Fields goes to Atlanta or he stays in Chicago, nowhere else, nowhere in between. But yeah, Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh is probably the best fit in my opinion. Young wide receivers who need leadership in the locker room. Despite Russell Wilson's
for God's sake, then you need Derek Carr.
Jesus Christ. Despite Russell Wilson's downbrings or shortcomings last season, I think he's a much better quarterback than Kenny Pickett. It's not the weakest division in the AFC, but Cleveland's having Deshaun Watson back at quarterback, and despite how good that defense is, I don't think he's going to be able to string
give
wins
a
with
reality check to
Go
this.
ahead.
Russell Wilson is going to go to Pittsburgh and thrive. Their offensive line sucks. They couldn't move anybody out of the way for the running game. They had no running game. Kenny Pickett isn't great, but he was hampered by the fact that their offensive line is terrible. So Russell Wilson going there, I don't think there's a quick fix. The thing I love about Russell Wilson, if I'm any team in the NFL that needs a quarterback, is he's cheap.
Yeah.
If I was drafting one of these rookies, I would be looking at bringing in Russell Wilson as a one-year quarterback so that I don't ruin a great young quarterback by forcing them into a lineup that isn't ready. I would put Russell Wilson, make him the tackling dummy for the year, and then work on making that quarterback better and building my team.
Now, you're talking about any team or just the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I'm talking about if any team is thinking about bringing in Russell Wilson, I think the best use of Russell Wilson is as a tackling dummy that protects a rookie quarterback for a year.
Okay, so I predict that Loud is going to get his wish, and that Washington quarterback, Michael Penix Jr., is going to go to the Raiders. So you'd be cool with Russell Wilson coming to the Raiders for a year, right?
Ask Jeremy. He's the Raiders fan.
All right. Oh, man. They really lost you, huh, Lou?
Yep.
He's done with the Raiders. I never thought I'd hear it. What do you think, Jeremy?
First of all, I'm sorry if I have a soundtrack. If anyone, it appears that the ice cream truck has broken down right in front of my window here.
Fantastic!
So,
Yeah, that's what I was wondering what it was.
I saw Christian trying to mute it, and yes,
I want one of those orange pops.
Hey, bomb pop anybody? I mean, he's right there. I'm not sure where the Raiders are going to go at quarterback in that scenario. Maybe, but I mean, I'd almost rather just, if you're going to draft Penix and not start him, then just play O'Connell again for another year. I'm just as comfortable with him as I would be bringing in an older Wilson to learn the system and all that stuff. That's the thing with the free agent quarterbacks and the Raiders. No one excites me more than just starting Aiden O'Connell again next year if we got a rookie or something.
Yeah, but
the idea would be to have a mentor for
right where I was going to go to.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson is predominantly a Hall of Fame quarterback. I think we can all agree on that. Wouldn't you want him, despite being in his golden years, training your future quarterback or mentoring him?
Maybe, I guess, but I don't know if they're going to sit him for a year to watch him learn and play anyway. I mean, whoever he plays behind, he's going to get a year of learning. I don't know what they're going to do, but as far as Wilson, I think with his price tag, he's going to be a bridge quarterback for some team, and they may get lucky and get good play out of him this year, depending on where he goes.
Yeah, I don't think Pittsburgh is going to be able to get a quarterback out of this draft, so I think he's the best fit. And actually, I'd be rooting for him to come back. I think him and Mike Tomlin together, I'd love to see Russell Wilson make a comeback because they're all journeymen in that division, man. Look at who he's had to play with, Lamar and Deshaun, and
let me ask everybody his honest opinion. What free agent are you most interested in seeing what team they go to?
Derrick Henry.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I think he is the king piece in NFL free agency.
Henry.
Somebody is going to get that guy for not a lot of money, and he has not lost much at all. That dude is.
I got two teams. I think he'll end up with. He either stays in the AFC with Baltimore, or he jumps to the NFC with the Cowboys. I think those are the two teams that look like they would sign.
I like those two predictions. I have two teams on my own on the list. I think he goes to Buffalo and takes the load off Josh Allen, or he's just going to ruin the league and go to Kansas City.
Detroit Lions. They need a hammer.
Do they really though? They have Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery.
Okay,
They're
like
both
their
1,000-yard rushers.
Yeah. I don't see putting a 30-year-old running back in the middle of those two as the wise decision when it comes to
hang on. The Lions love going for it at 4th and 1, 4th and 2. That is their coach's MO. Can you imagine how much more often they would convert that if they had Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry should not be going somewhere where he has to carry the ball 25, 30 times a game. He would be better off going somewhere where he is splitting time and being used very specifically for purpose runs.
You got to imagine how much money do they have tied up in their 2 running backs in Detroit already? And are they going to put more money in that position, bringing in?
He's not going to cost. How much, Christian? How much do you think Derrick Henry's going to get for a 2-year contract?
In the range,
it's not more than $18 million.
And annual pay is going to be close to $9 to $11 million.
Yeah,
right around there. He's going to get paid Christian McCaffrey money.
Sign him for 2 years for less than $20 million.
I think that's a lot of running back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with an offensive line like that, I think Derrick Henry is just it's unnecessary. It's a luxury that they don't really need because you have 2 young running backs that were great in the system, and they took you to an NFC Championship game. Yes, Derrick Henry's great, but he's 30 years old. That's about 75,000 in running back years. How many years does he have?
He hasn't slowed down at all. He's a
he rushed for 1,000 yards.
Yeah,
but if I'm going to spend that kind of money, I'm probably going to look at someone like Josh Jacobs, who's at 26 years old, DeAndre Swift, who's 25, even Saquon's 29 or 28,
26.
Yeah. So I'd rather go with one of these younger guys and give them a 2-year deal and see if they can come in and turn things around.
Completely agree.
All right. Well, maybe I'd love to see the Lions be even more successful than they were last year. And I love Derrick Henry. So for me, in my mind, combining those 2 would be so great, but maybe it doesn't.
I think the Lions need another wide receiver.
Yes, 100%. I thought it was going to be Mike Evans, and now he's back in Tampa.
Yeah, and Michael Pittman's been tagged, and he's staying in Indy. So I don't know who's really out there, but in the draft,
OBJ.
Well, it doesn't look like too many people are going for receivers with a couple.
Calvin Ridley.
There you go.
What about Calvin Ridley to the Lions?
I think he stays in Jacksonville. He didn't have that great of a year.
Yeah, they don't want to let him go. He's their Deebo Samuel. He's 80% of their offense.
Yes, sir.
So look,
Marquise Brown.
I mean, how big of an upgrade is that from who they have? Really?
Well, it's just the young guy, Williamson, the rookie. I don't know why, or not a rookie. He was a rookie. He was a rookie a couple years ago, and he was supposed to be their speed guy, and he just hasn't really caught on. He's made a couple of big catches, but
what about
they need a number. Well, T. Higgins has been
he's
tagged.
He's tagged. Okay.
Yeah. That's the thing. All these guys either signed or got tagged who were at the top of the list there. So I don't know if there's
Michael Pittman, has he been tagged?
Yes, sir. Yep. He has been tagged.
Oh, yeah. And Joe Mixon got released.
I didn't see that.
Joe Mixon they're planning to release Joe Mixon. Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, throw him out there in the mix. They can replace him with one of these other guys. There's going to be so many of these running backs available now.
Yeah,
it's gonna flood the market, and I don't think these guys are going to get. I think they're going to be getting those 2-year, $18 million deals if they're lucky.
Yeah, and you know what? You don't want to be one of the last 2 or 3 running backs to not get signed yet.
No, you want one of those
you're going to want to
contracts.
get out there early.
Yep.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey set the bar $11 million a year.
Christian, what happens with Baker?
Baker stays in Tampa. It's the best fit for both teams. Yeah.
Mike Evans stays in Tampa.
Yeah. Another season of just dominating Derek Carr, taking his own division.
There you go. Then they go get Derrick Henry. And make a team.
You know what? I don't hate that pick. Derrick Henry to Tampa Bay.
I don't either, man. Derrick Henry to Tampa Bay looked good. Sounds great to me.
Well, actually, that would be a good fit. You talk. Loud said it. He needs to go somewhere where he's not going to be the guy. They don't have the best running back in Tampa Bay right now. He had a solid year. I forget White. Is that his last name? Something like that.
White.
But no, that'd be a great spot where he could go in and help take some more pressure off of Baker, give him another weapon.
Let me just say as a Saints fan, hell no.
Hell no.
Hell no. No, I don't like that at all. The other team that I'm really pissed at in free agency is Kansas City, because I was really hoping that they'd lose Chris Jones.
He's gone. He might go to the Raiders. Did you hear, Loud, that one of the talking heads was talking? One of the
Whoa, hang on. Wait. Chris Jones. I thought they tagged him and let Jerry
Sneed got tagged.
Sneed is tagged, and he's been.
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
So when the talking head says Chris Jones to the Raiders, and Chris Jones puts a handshake emoji on it.
Well, he'll be looking to break the bank, though.
Yes.
Well,
sir.
absolutely, and that's the problem. Kansas City's trying to get to the point where they can offer him a contract. That's why they tagged Sneed, and they also told him that they are willing to. Yes, they're willing to do a tag and trade if they can get a good deal for him. And I think that's them trying to keep Jones around. But, even if Jones stays in Kansas City, you got Christian Wilkins out there. You got, the
Chase Young.
You got Chase Young, the guy from Seattle, who is also a Giant Williams. He's available. So there's some really good talent on the defensive end and defensive tackle in free agency that
Daniel
I would love to see the Raiders get one of those guys. Honestly, they really need some help in the middle.
They need somebody that can give some relief to Max Crosby.
Absolutely.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah, that would be quite the move. What's fascinating to me is the NFL over/under numbers. It's really interesting. You look at them now, and then at the end of free agency, you know what I'm going to do? Here's what I'll do. I'll look at I will take all the NFL over/under numbers now, and then I will take a snapshot of that. And then once free agency is over, then we'll take a look at the over/under numbers again and look at how they've changed based on who got signed where.
So are there betting odds for where free agents are going to land this time of year?
Yes.
So you can actually make those kind of bets.
Yeah, you can go bet on where is Saquon going to go? Where is Calvin Ridley going to go? Where is Kirk Cousins going to go?
That's fun. That's crazy. I would never bet on it, but that's funny.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
So where does Saquon go?
Yeah, that's the next question I was going to get into. Aside from Josh Jacobs and Derrick Henry, I think Saquon's the biggest free agent in the class right now. Where do you think Saquon's going to go? Personally, I thought he was going to return to the Giants. It looks like it's not going to happen. So another contending NFC team, in my opinion. Rocky, who do you got?
No clue. I have no idea who might want Saquon. What his price tag might be. I'm just don't know enough about it. What's going on with his contract at this point?
The thing that's crazy to me is they're not controlling in any way where he goes. Saquon Barkley could go to Dallas.
Yeah, that was my
Barkley.
And
could
Dallas.
You imagine how crappy that would look? I mean, let me just take a step back here. I do not understand what the Giants are doing at all. I am completely flummoxed by what the Giants are doing because they let Saquon Barkley walk, and now everything I hear is they want to get rid of Daniel Jones.
And bring in
their
Russell
offensive
Wilson.
line is still terrible. They have nothing at wide receiver. Now they have nothing at running back. Their defense sucks. I don't understand what they're doing. Help me, somebody.
No, honestly, it's a complete mess in the front office right now. You signed Daniel, and it started off with Daniel Jones. You signed Daniel Jones for a 4-year, $120 million. The $40 million man who hasn't played all the season, and when he did, he didn't look good at all. You let probably the top 5 best running back in the league go. Your offensive line is diminished. You're letting your defense completely walk away. And now you want to sign Russell Wilson? I have no idea what the New York Giants front office is doing, and I don't think they do either.
And they're going to hate it if Saquon ends up in Dallas, and I think that's an actual possibility.
I do too as well.
Jerry Jones would love to bring in that kind of talent at running back.
Saquon Barkley up the Giants' ass.
Yeah, you improve your team significantly and hurt a division rival significantly.
And he has a longer tenure. He'd have a longer tenure than Derrick Henry there. I think he has.
Yes, sir.
And, another place I have heard for Saquon, which I don't want to happen, but his name's been floating around Los Angeles Chargers a lot as well.
Yep.
And I would hate to see him in that division, to be honest. Wouldn't want to face him twice a year, but as a fit, that's a place that could really use some talent at running back.
Another
Don't worry,
name.
God hates Jim Harbaugh, so it'll be okay.
Along with me, I want to put my name on that list.
Yeah,
God and
hates
There goes
Jim Harbaugh.
God, Rocky Giordani.
Hate,
No, well, it might be a little closer.
I hate him.
And then there's Derek Carr.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
We love Derek Carr, man.
Just
No.
throwing
We
it out
all
there.
rooted for him. We want him to do good.
Derek Carr and Jesus, good friends, walking down the beach together, having long conversations. Just
Another team I heard about Saquon Barkley is right across the yard. The New York Jets are looking into him as well, having a two-head monster with him and Breece Hall.
Boy, I don't know. The Jets signing free agent running back hasn't worked out well.
They need to spend all their money on an offensive line.
Agreed.
They need to go get. I know he's old and he doesn't play as much, but was it Smith, the offensive tackle from Dallas? He's a free agent. When he's on the field, he's probably still a top 5, top 10 offensive left tackle. The Jets need to get him in there to go all in on Aaron Rodgers this year.
With very few exceptions, I mean, probably 20 of the teams in the first round are going to take offensive linemen. They're going to be at a premium in this draft. With a couple of edge rushers maybe will go, but it's going to be mostly after the quarterbacks. It's going to be mostly offensive linemen exclusively. Well,
Jeremy,
Marvin Harrison Jr., with the obvious exception of the generational talent.
Let me talk to my hockey friend Jeremy for a minute.
All right.
The NHL season, regular season, is coming to an end soon. You will be looking at the NHL playoffs. I know you're not a
playoffs.
Playoffs.
I know you're not a betting guy, but is there anything from all your years of watching hockey that you think happens differently in the NHL playoffs than during the regular season? Let me point something out as an example. The vast majority of NHL games during the NHL regular season, the most likely outcome is a 1-goal deficit between the winning team and the losing team. The number of goals scored in an average game in the NHL regular season is between 5.5 and 7. Given those two data points, do you see anything different in the playoffs? Do they score less? Are there wider margins of victory? Closer? What do you think?
Wow. Completely unprepared to answer anything like this at all. I don't know. Maybe the scoring goes up. I mean, that's one of the things that's so fun about playoff hockey is the intensity of the game and the high scoring, and so many more overtimes because teams are just on it. Playoff hockey is one of the best things in the world to watch.
Hang on a second. You say there's more overtimes during the playoffs. That means that the likelihood that there's 1-score deficits is higher in the playoffs than the regular season.
I guess so. Okay.
All right. So those are the kind of things that, if you're looking at betting trends, and I'm going to be, I think we should do a special about NHL betting, and I'll assign Christian some stuff and Jeremy some stuff, and I'll do some stuff. But I think it'd be fascinating. By the way, Jeremy, when do those playoffs start? Do you know?
I'm not entirely sure. No, not off the top of my head.
Okay. But it's usually like June, right?
No,
it's wrapping up in June.
Yeah, they're coming up late March, early April, I believe, is when the playoffs start.
And of course, we have March Madness coming up as well, so that's going to be interesting. So it is a betting show. So some of the things you want to be looking at right now, Major League Baseball futures.
Yes, sir.
Those are bets that you can start making. Who's going to win the Cy Young? Who's going to win the MVP? Over-under bets. You can go find a video from me at Winners and Winers where I'm talking about how the Boston Red Sox are definitely going to be under 77.5 wins this season. Christian and I agree on that. And Christian, who's your AL MVP and NL MVP?
My AL MVP going ahead this
now.
Yes, my AL MVP going ahead right now at plus 850. Me and Rocky Giordani's boy Corey Seager for the Texas Ranger. Yes, sir. Shohei Ohtani out of the AL League opens it up for Corey Seager, and for the NL MVP, Me and Rocky both hate this guy as well, but I got to give him his props. Fernando Tatis Jr. at plus 1,000.
It is going to be fascinating to see where Derrick Henry goes, Saquon Barkley goes, Josh Jacobs goes. By the way, the Saints are going to be releasing Michael Thomas.
Yes, along with another few releases. Bills cleaned up house. Tre'Davious White's gone. Jordan Poyer's gone. They released their center as well.
Christian, is that a salary cap thing?
Yes, it is. That's exactly what it is. Great question, Loud. It's $36 million freed up right there. So they went from almost into the negative of $12 million to about now $24 million.
The signal that sends to me is they are all about getting another great receiver or running back.
Yes.
In free agency. Fascinating. All right, guys.
1 minute.
After a totally depressing however long it's been since the Super Bowl was over, I'm starting to get excited again now with free agency and talking about the draft. You know, a little injection of NFL was great, man. And so thanks, guys. I feel much better personally. You know.
Hey, and the USFL season starts in 3 weeks. So
oh God, I'm out. I'm gone.
Yeah. All right. Thank everyone for listening to Steer the Line. We're your hosts for the week, and we will see you guys next Friday to continue the NFL free agency.